Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you again so much for joining me here. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Let's take a look here at Solana, see what's going on. And just so you know, to preface, Bitcoin is super obnoxious today. It is cranking up and down. It's jumped up, down, and up again by 5% margins every hour or two since early this morning. So just some friendly advice: when that kind of stuff happens, generally best to leave trades alone and kind of step away and wait. Again, that's just me being a patient trader, and I like to kind of talk sense into those who are fairly impatient. So just a heads up, maybe best just kind of relax and wait, let things kind of calm down here for a minute. But we're going to see if there's any significant divergences or convergences, what's going on specifically here on the back end too, just so we can kind of prepare and see if we can catch some big dips or some big pumps, whatever the case. Let's double check. So hit that like button before we get started, folks. Really absolutely appreciate that. Thank you again so much. For future reference, I have some members that do that every single video they watch every single day. Thank you. I can't say thank you enough. Again, we want to get this in front of more people, so people stop getting destroyed by these moon boys, right? Okay, so let's take a look here. 140 to 141. Heavy concentration liquidation. We zoom in on the monthly, we can kind of see that area. That's about 2.2 billion. We're just at that 140 alone. Okay, so that's a lot of liquidation. Keep in mind there is some liquidation upwards, about 700 million at 152. But the key takeaway here is we're close-ish, if you will, to 140 than we are to 150, and it might be best to consider that. Now, again, obviously we're not super close to 150, but the volume and liquidation we see here, just keep this in mind, it's at 151.50. So let's just go ahead and mark this on the charts. It's right there, just above this point, or right at this 0.5 fib level, and we can see here, of course, 140. We got about 3 to 4 times the amount of liquidation on the downside here. So just know that area is potential for consideration. Okay, now, having said all that, let's look at the daily and kind of see what's going on and double check a few factors. So we've got our macro point of control here based on the larger time frames, right? So 130, low 130s upwards of 145. We're kind of in that upper range of that support. That does imply we should see a bounce and the price should be able to hold this level. Again, pending Bitcoin doesn't drop to 54, 52,000, we should be in pretty good shape to see Solana hold this level, okay? Having said all that, that doesn't mean that you just go crazy balls to the wall with the trade, okay? Because we look here on the daily, we can see we haven't broken above 50 in the RSI officially yet. Money flow index is coming down, so money's coming away from this coin. Obviously, the price pulled back, and we can see the stochastic is trying to swing up, but hasn't fully done so yet. MACD is also having trouble getting its momentum and shifting gears. So when we see all that and we combine that with the SMAs being above us, every single SMA above us, until we close at 165 or higher, there's no reason to take a long position. I know it seems crazy, right? Why wait till the price goes higher before we take a long to the upside? It doesn't make a ton of sense. It actually does, though, because we'd have confirmation we're on the right side of tracks at that point, and right now it's very premature to take a long position. So again, if you're taking a long right now, from a macro perspective, it's a bad call, just because of the simple fact that we have a lot of things working against us, okay? But again, you go with the grain, not against it. That's just a simple way of understanding it, and that's how good traders trade, right? So just kind of throwing it out there, it is best practice to avoid trading in A, these conditions right now, which are kind of crazy volatile, but B, more importantly, just trade with the grain, not against it. All right, having said that, we've got this short-term descending trend here running fairly concurrent with the 20-day SMA. Until we get over the 20-day SMA, I'm not convinced we're back on track. I would love to see a closure at 152 or higher, get above this local point of control, and then we can have a little bit more of a leg to stand on, maybe consider a long from 152 to 165. Maybe, right? Between now and then, patience is paramount. We are over the 50-day SMA, which is all well and good, but it still doesn't mean too much personally. Especially that combined with being under 50 on the RSI, stochastic RSI, while it's swinging up and MACD is trying to converge, we haven't fully done so yet. There's a lot of reasons why it's very premature to take a long. Now, granted, you took a long at 142, you bought through that, bought into that local support on that fib level there. Good for you. You should have secured profits by now, though. That's kind of the key takeaway. Try not to get super greedy. This is not the market for it. Okay. So again, ensure you move your stop loss higher as you continue to get into profit. And if you're wasting money away by not taking profits on certain trades, you may want to just reconsider your strategy. Unless you're trading SUI, you have no reason to hold a long position to the moon. All right, there's very few reasons. So all that being said, let's quickly look at the hourly and summarize here. Quickly to note, Ichimoku cloud, we're still under the cloud, also reaffirming we have a resistance above us. The lagging span's getting closer to the price action, so truth is this short position that you have open, you probably want to consider securing profits on that too. And I know it seems crazy, right? Why close a short position and not open a long when the price can either go up or down? It can only go two directions. Truth is, 95% of trading is not trading, so you should probably be looking for reasons not to take a trade versus taking one. And at this point, the window of opportunity to the downside is decreasing, while the window of opportunity to the upside is still plateauing, right? We don't have that confirmation. So I don't know. It's just crazy to me that how much people force trades. Again, a different story altogether if you're just a day trader, but at this point here, it's important to recognize that this is not an ideal trading scenario for a swing trade, at least not yet. Okay, we want to wait for today's candlestick to close. We need a 0.5 fib or higher, that 152 or higher, to be able to have any confirmation in taking a long position. Okay, so wait until we're above that, we're soundly above that point of control, because that would put us above the cloud, the lagging span would be free and clear. We'd be in a much better position at that point. Between now and then, just be patient, wait and see. And again, to clarify, lower levels, just in case the price does pull back, I would say, an entry in the 130 to 135 area would seem like a solid consideration for a long if the price pulls back to that level, just because there's going to be, there's a strong likelihood of the price action just recovering at that range because it's that lower point of control level. We lose that range, different story altogether. We could see, 110 or lower, possibly even double digits. That's all pending Bitcoin goes 55K or lower though. Keep that in mind. Right now, it's hard to say specifically. Bitcoin is kind of trying to fight for that 58 to 60K range. So I'm waiting for confirming factors on Bitcoin before I take a trade with Solana. That's all there is to it. Okay. That's just me personally. Again, what are your thoughts? How do you trade Solana? There's obviously a lot of different strategies. Not one is perfect, and they're not all the same either. So either way, I just want to say thanks again for hitting that like button, commenting below if you get a chance. More importantly, just being an amazing part of my life. I deeply appreciate my followers, my supporters, anyone in our Discord community too, by the way. We secured some nice profits on Bitcoin. Nice little Bitcoin short, 30% in 3 days. Aave, 28% in 2 days there. So we are a little bit more short, I'm leaning more towards taking shorts than I do take longs. I know it seems crazy because the market does tend to pump, and in fact, Bitcoin dominance is pulling back a little bit, so there's that. But this is just that natural knee-jerk reaction to the volatility we saw here today. So just be careful. That's all there is to it. Thanks again so much for watching. Hope you have a good rest of your day. We'll see you next one. Take care.